1 out of 8 carbon molecules that come out of anybody's tailpipe anywhere in the world, yours, mine, the governor's, 1 out of 8 is going into the ocean around Antarctica within a year. So everybody says, well, why study the Antarctic when we live in Arizona? I'm like, well, why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. That's where the carbon and the heat are. So the ocean's doing us a favor, a huge favor. And how much it's able to take up over what time period, how much of the carbon, how much of the heat, will determine what happens to our desert home. I'm Joellen Russell. I'm a professor here at the University of Arizona in geosciences, hydrology and atmospheric sciences, planetary science, and applied math. I'm in an interdisciplinary kind of science. I'm an Earth system modeler and oceanographer, and we're working on trying to figure out what's going to happen next. I grew up in an Eskimo fishing village called Kotzebue, 31 miles above the Arctic Circle on the Arctic Ocean, or the Chukchi Sea. As a small child, watching everybody hunt and fish out on the ice and in the canoes and the kayaks, it was dangerous and it was scary and it was amazing, where the weather and the ice and the animals and the people, we had to watch, you had to be careful, you had to know things about how it all worked. And every year the sea ice would go out and I would wonder, where did it go? Because you couldn't follow, it's too dangerous, right? You get crushed, your boat could get crushed between ice floes, etc. So I grew up wanting to be an oceanographer since I was 12, and I wrote scripts or bust on my sneakers when I was little. You know, my Chucks, I had them all decorated, scripts or bust. And when I got to scripts, I said, I want to go to sea. I want to see what that ocean, the other one, I know what a blizzard feels like. I grew up on the tundra, I know. I want to go see what this one is. And when I got there, I had never seen wind like this, never seen waves like this. I was just blew my mind. And that was it. I have been obsessed with the ocean around Antarctica ever since. So the Southern Ocean is the ocean around Antarctica. This ocean is really special because it has the world's largest current. This current, called the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, it carries 4 times as much water as the next biggest current. Most of the heat that's going into the ocean is going in around Antarctica, about 78 to 95%. Because of that massive current, you've got mixing along inside the current, and it's going very deep, and it's taking some of that heat and that carbon with it. That is critical to humans and our happiness and the length of cabin fever time in Arizona. Each of these little dots and the little squiggly spaghetti trail behind it is a robot float that we deployed as part of our Southern Ocean Carbon and Climate Observations and Modeling Program. We have 200 of these floats out, and their little antenna, they beam their data back by Iridium satellite, and we put it online for the entire world to see, as well as us to crunch, within 2 hours of it coming through. If you want a good prediction about what's going to happen here in Arizona, it's not just predicting what happens to just the atmosphere, just the ocean, just the land surface, but all of them together. There are other things too, like what we emit into the atmosphere, this growth in CO2 that's making us so much warmer. Every 10 years, the Weather Service updates our climatology. What they say is every 10 years, we get hotter and drier. So these are important things, not just for ranchers and farmers, but for moms like me who are like, so cabin fever, when is this going to end? I mean, boy, we got hot early this year, and who knows how long it's gonna last into the fall. I mean, we're all hoping that we're not, grilling our turkeys outdoors because it's Thanksgiving and we're still roasting. All of our predictions about what might happen next include this increasing CO2, right? Some of them flatten it out after, 20 or 30 years, where they say, okay, there's one scenario where it all kind of comes down because we all work at it and we bend the curve and we do this together. And some of them say we burn it all and it keeps going up, right? And that's the scary one, where it gets extraordinarily hot here. Our summer lengthens and lengthens and lengthens. So the trick is with this is it's been increasing like this, and then COVID hit, and boop, we had an abrupt drop. That drop has never happened. We have never seen anything like this. Now, if we, with this little bloop, we still have a huge amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, so that's still there, still working. But we have to find out if our models can even handle a quick drop, because we didn't even consider it. And I'm hoping that individually as well as collectively, we basically make choices about what CO2 we feel is valuable enough to put back in the atmosphere, right? We didn't do it during the pandemic. If it's really needed, we should do it. But if it isn't, or if we can find another way to do it, what an incredible example of how we could actually start the downward trend. This is what we do. But please don't think that because we study the icy deep black abyss that we aren't thinking every day about our friends and family in Tucson. Of course we are. We study this because we want to know for them what's going to happen next.